Hello, everyone. Patriot 5 with Patriot 6 here on Wednesday night. Sorry, we're a couple minutes late, so I'm going to get right into the Pledge of Allegiance, and then I'm going to play the music, and we'll be ready to get this show started. Let's hope we have a good show tonight. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again, just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, and when at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea. From Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt of this land. God bless the USA. God bless this country. And I'm proud to be an American. At least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Proud to be an American. God bless the USA. Boy, if you ever just listen to that song, it's an amazing song. And you know, I've been seeing it a lot here lately. It seems like it's everywhere. And you know, I'm happy to be an American. I'm happy to be part of the USA. But you know, as happy as I am, there's still some sadness going on in me. And I'm going to cover that tonight. I'm going to cover some other things that I've heard. Hopefully things will go well. I'm going to have to probably get up in a couple of minutes. I just noticed that I need to charge my battery, so I will probably get up in a couple of minutes, plug it in, and we'll be good. I'm good for about 30 minutes right now. So with that being said, you know, I'd like to talk to Jimmy and the kids, all the Patriots. And I want to tell all the Patriot kids something. First, we'll talk with Jimmy, and hopefully everything's going good with him. I want to say hello to everyone that's in the chat and everyone who's on the show right now. But Jimmy and Patriot 11, Patriot Karate Kid, Patriot White Earp, Patriot Little Leona and Little Ilana, Patriot Boogie, Bugs, Boogaloo, and Boogaroo, Patriot Small Hank, and Patriot Kira, who I didn't even get to see today. They live in my house, and I didn't even get to see them. Patriot Super Gymnast, Patriot 7, and Patriot Little Monkey. I did spend time with the last three for a little bit. Ended up taking Liam to his football practice. Baseball's over. Now he's going into football, and we'll talk about that. Patriot Hunter and Patriot Princess, our queen. And I kept her for last, as I was trying to do the other night when I was doing the show, because she won a softball tournament recently, and I wanted everybody to congratulate her. For all those who know her as Patriot Princess, our queen, or whatever, her name is Haley, and I'm very, very proud of her. She's a tremendous little girl, a tremendous athlete, as all of our kids are here, tremendous kids, and even the ones that used to follow us and the ones that would like to follow us. So congratulations, Haley. Kids, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is I was watching a video the other day, and there was these kids on there, and they was making fun of people like myself, making fun of people maybe the ages of 10 or 15 years younger than me. So I'd say anywhere from maybe 55, 60, up into 70 to 75, and they was making fun of us. And they said, when you grew up, you didn't know what it was like to get on a computer. You didn't know what it was like to have a cell phone and be able to watch movies and play games. You didn't know what it was like to have a tablet and do all of these things. You didn't know that. And the guy answered and said, no, we didn't. But we knew what it was like to go out and play ball. We knew what it was like to go and just hold your girlfriend's hand, even if he was only 10 or 11 years old. We knew what it was like to just literally be happy. We knew what it was like and what the consequences was like if you were not in your yard when the street lights come on. I can remember my cousin literally throwing rocks at a street light because if we broke the street light, we wouldn't know when it was on and we could stay out a little longer. We didn't know none of these things. We didn't know, but they do nowadays. But what's funny, the person says, we didn't know all this, young man, young lady. We invented it. We're the ones that made it. And now, speaking as a person who was part of the generation that invented, that got the computers going. And, computers go a lot farther back than a lot of people think. I remember when Ron was drafted into the PATRIOTS5 was drafted into the military. He got put in Germany or France, and then France kicked the United States out. So he went to Germany. And that was his job, was to run a computer. But it wasn't a computer like I'm on right now, a little laptop. It was a computer that was completely on the wall. Now, some people say Ron made a mistake when he come out of the military. He should have went to a junior college. He would have went to a college, and he should have got degrees in computer. And he could have been really, 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 really rich. But instead, Ron decided to go to work with his brother Russ and his brother Ralph, a.k.a. me. And we don't regret 1 minute of working together. But computers have been around. But I had someone the other day said, "Hey, can you lend me some money?" I said, "For what?" "I want to buy some games for my kids so I can keep them entertained. I want to have a boyfriend come over." I said, "I don't think so. First of all, I don't believe in the games." Today, when I went over to my daughter's house, I wasn't there long. But the little monkey, when I got ready to go, she looks at me and I said, "I got to get going," because I had groceries in the car. And I said, "I got to get going." And she says, "You was only here like a couple of minutes." And I said, "Yeah, but look." Ron says, "Hello, Papa." Huh? Oh. I thought when I seen "Hello, Papa," I thought it might have been Ella. But what I'm saying is, the reason it didn't seem like it was there as long as it was because she she was busy. She was busy over watching the TV in the garage. My daughter Amber is preparing this weekend is the fun days in Clifton, and she's preparing to go and have a garage sale, because there's thousands of people come through that little town when they have that. And if she's got enough out, once they get to the beer tent, if they walk over by her house, they might buy something that she's got a dollar sign on it and they think it's 10. I don't know, but you know how people are when they drink. But kids, we don't remember what it was like to play on a computer, what it was like to sit in a house on a beautiful day instead of out playing baseball or softball or swimming in a creek. It's a funny story because my son, he just went on vacation not long ago. He went to Iowa, to Minnesota, to Mall of America, and then he went to Wisconsin Dells. So he went to 3 states. And what his goal is he wants to take his kids to all of the states in the United States. And I'm thinking, wow, when he goes on his real vacation, he usually goes to Jamaica. He loves Jamaica. But the way things are going, it looks like he's going to have to go to maybe Australia and New Zealand and Mexico and Canada. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up to the kids that we didn't know how to play with computers. When we got on a phone, we could tell our friends what time I was going to call my cousin at 7:00 at night. So everybody else in the area, the friends, just pick up your phone at 7:00 at night, and we could have 6, 7, 8, 9 guys on there talking. It didn't matter if it was winter and it was dark outside and we had to be in the yard and in the house early. We get on the phone and we just have our own little party line. But see, they don't understand things like that. I was talking today when I went to get some groceries and the prices of things. And for a lot of the people that follow me and we're friends, on Messenger, Facebook Messenger. A lot of you, I just signed a video a few days ago about the prices in the 50s and 60s. McDonald's hamburgers 15 cents, French fries 12 cents, a Coke, back when Coke was good to drink. A Coke was a dime. You could get a large shake for 25 cents. And I tell the story a lot, kids, about when I was 10 years old. I went to my first White Sox game. It was a double hitter. Our seats were $5 a piece, and we sat right almost to the back of home plate. Beautiful seats, right almost so close to the infield you could smell the grass. And we was right there. $5 a piece. A hot dog was maybe 50 or 75 cents. Ron was with me. My brother Russ was there. But the driver was my brother-in-law, Ray, the man who passed away a year and a half ago. And he might have paid $2 for a beer. Now a beer is $12 to $15. They was bragging last night because at White Sox Park, kids at White Sox Park on every Tuesday night that they're home, they have $5 night where you can get a hot dog for $5. You can get a big ice cream. I mean, this ice cream cone is like this big, and you can get that for $5. You can get tacos for $5. You can get pizza. One lady, they did an interview with her about 3 weeks ago on a Tuesday night when they was playing a game there, and she had like 6 pieces of pizza, and she said, "What a buy, $5 a slice." They're big slices, and I'm thinking, one slice was probably about a quarter of a pizza, so they're big slices. But she still spent $30. And from my knowledge, she ate it all. But the prices are so high. But now we're supposed to be going down. And kids, I'm going to conclude this part of this show because I want to talk to the adults about the prices going down. But just remember, kids, this video is not meant for you. You can watch it under the discretion of your parents, grandparents, or legal guardians. If they say it's okay, you can watch it. And the music that we played tonight is for entertainment purposes only. Guys, I need to get something cold to drink, something on my throat. I'm going to plug my computer in so I don't lose battery. So give me about a minute. It won't take no longer. Okay, I'm back. So we were talking to the kids about the prices. And I've been doing some research on prices, and it's unbelievable. But so I really don't have to look back. I really don't have to look back at the prices in the 60s and 70s. The 70s I can remember real well. In 1974, I bought a brand new Dodge Dart. A brand new Dodge Dart, had a sunroof, stereo system, everything I wanted. Beautiful car. Out the door, $3,400. That was tax, title, and everything. $3,400 for a brand new Dodge Dart with a sunroof. I was talking to my brother the other night, Russ, on 4th of July, and we were talking about his first brand new car. It was a 69 Sports Satellite Plymouth. And if you've never seen a brand new Sports Satellite 69 Plymouth, beautiful car, unbelievable car. Unfortunately, the Sports Satellite system, I think he had it, and first time he ever drove in Kankakee with it, some I'm not going to say, some lady tried the impossible. She tried to switch lanes with my brother right next to her. Right next to her. There was no place to go. But she made her mind up. She was going into the next lane, and she went right into my brother's car. It was fixed, but that's not the point. When you get a car like that, when you get a car that you love, back in them days, I don't know how it is now. New cars and me do not go in the same, 25-year-old cars and me now go in the, but anyway, when you got a car that you love and someone hits it, it's like, wow. My 74 Dodge Dart, I had it for about a year, had it almost paid off. I had to take it in and get a wheel alignment done on it. I took it to this place, and my brother Russ picked me up and took me back to work. We went to pick it up on the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving that year. And on my way home, I'm driving and on Route 115 and just get past Herscher, and I'm driving, and all of a sudden I lost control. Wasn't my fault. They didn't tighten the lug nuts on the car, and I watched my back tire pass me as I was flying in the air, straight at a telephone pole. And I remember I seen the telephone pole coming. I took myself and I buried my head in the seat. My sunroof, part of it missed my head by that much. If I would have stayed upright, it would have split my head. So I was very, very fortunate to walk away from there. I was told I should have died. But I know how I felt when I seen my car. And what I'm trying to say is when you have something you love, something like that you love and you take care of, because back then, boy, did I take care of my cars. I used to work as a detail person, so I knew how to do it. And it makes you sick, guys. It literally makes you sick. But I brought this up because I'm reading this article, and I hadn't seen it for a while. But the article read, don't forget, we'll be going to the 55s, to the prices back in 1955, or somewhere between 55 and 65. Now, guys, I can't go back and tell you. I can tell you prices at a White Sox ball game in 64. I can tell you prices of potato chips at our local store or our tavern, because we really didn't have a store after a while. We had to get our candy and our potato chips from a tavern, Fisher's Tap. And I can tell you, you could get a Snicker bar, a Three Musketeer, a Hershey's almond, a Hershey chocolate, Mars bar, whatever you wanted, any candy, you could get it for a nickel. When they raised it to a dime, it was like, wow. You could get a 12-ounce bottle of Pepsi or RC or things like that you could get for a dime. But if you wasn't going to drink it in the tavern or in the store and you was going to take it, you had to pay 12 cents. But then when you took it back, you got 2 cents deposit back for the bottles. So growing up, not very rich, and my friends having money when we got to certain ages, and, we all had girlfriends, we all had, whatever. And I can remember all of my friends seemed like they had money. So they'd go to the taverns and they'd take their girlfriends and they'd get a 6-pack of pop or a 12-pack or whatever, 2 6-packs, because back then we didn't have 12-packs. We had 6-packs or cases. And they'd get this and they'd walk around town and they'd drink and they'd throw their bottle. I'd watch where they threw their bottle. I'd get it. I'd go pick up them 6 or 12 bottles and I'd take it back in. I'd have enough for a candy bar, bag of chips. If you've never had Chesty Ruffle potato chips, greatest potato chip ever. They don't even make them anymore. I know I've Google searched them so much, hoping I could find them because they are just amazing. But I'm telling these stories not only to the people here in the chat, the people that's on the show, that's 84 people here, Janet and Betty, Gary, David, Bill, Jeffrey, and I'm sure I've missed some. I know Ron's on, Elaine's on. I'm telling you guys, a lot of you are in my age group, and I'm hoping you remember that. And we can't let that go because we have to bring it back. We have to bring this back. We need to go to these prices, and then I'm listening, and you know what? Something that just, I'm coming home from my daughter's after I went shopping today, and I'm just pulling in Ron's driveway, and they're talking about money that people's making, and they're talking on the radio station. They're talking about the Bulls. This one guy wants $30 million, at least a 3, if not a 5-year contract, at $30 million a year. He averaged 13 points a game last year. Michael Jordan, most money he ever made with the Bulls was $37 million in a year. And he didn't get that until he played out his first 5-year contract. And then he took an extension. You know, I understand things are up, but I'm telling you this story. He wants 30 million or 150 for 5 to average 13 points. He's a good ball player for what he does. But $30 million. See, because what I always look at, when you pay these people like this, and they're talking to guy, and guy said, truthfully, $30 million isn't that much. And I'm thinking, you play 82 games. You play 82 games and you want $30 million. And he says, it's really not that much because there's so much revenue coming in from every place else. And there's a rule that you have to spend so much. Then they're talking about this guy that was just traded to the Lakers last year. And they said he might be the first $100 million player. $100 million a year player for 82 games. And you know, the sad part about it is, forget the $100 million. Forget well over $1 million a game. Even if you make the playoffs and you go all the way through, you're only going to play a little over 100 games. So you're still going to average almost $1 million a game. Well, you're going to average it because to make the playoffs, to win the first round, you're going to get a check. To win the second round, you're going to get a check. To win the third round in the championship, you're going to get checked. So you're probably going to make another $25 million there. I go back to the days in sports when Pete Rose, the guy that's got more hits in the history of Major League Baseball than anybody, said he wanted to be the first $100,000 a year. We've let it get out of hand. But why have we let it get out of hand there, but we haven't let it get out of hand for the people who work, for the people who keep our, why is our military only making what they're making? Why is our president, who promised us so many things, not did one damn thing for senior citizens? Excuse me for that word, but why is, to me, you know, I was doing a survey the other day on Facebook, and the question was, now that the president's been in office for 5 months, what grade do you give him? And people were giving him A pluses and A minuses. Then you had your cabal group that's giving him F's and zeros. And, you know, because, I mean, I'm going to talk about the cabal group in a minute, but, you know, they are what they are, but they're giving him F's and zeros. And I said, for what he's done for the world, I give him an A, maybe an A plus, for stopping the wars. Because even the girl that I write in the Ukraine, the letter she wrote me today, she says, have you heard anything? Do you know if the war is actually over here? She said, because we haven't had to go into a bunker. We haven't had any missiles. We have had nothing. It's been really, and she lives in a town of about 35, a town about the size of Kankakee, Bradley, and Bourbonnais put together, which is 35 to 50,000 people, somewhere in there. And you know, so he's doing great, you know, putting an end to Iran and Israel, you know, and everything I'm hearing, it sounds good for the other countries. Why is that important? Because we cannot go in to the big N and the big G until they do this. So it's very, very important. Hi, Michael James. Seeing if I missed anybody here. Rocky Darnell, good to see you. But it is what it is, you know. And I think for the country, the world, he's doing a great job. For a lot of things in the United States, he's doing an okay job. But for the senior citizens, for the homeless, for the veterans who are handicapped, he's doing jack crap. He's doing nothing, guys, that we're seeing. Now, they're going to tell you, oh, he's doing this, he's doing this. Oh, this is coming down. I just listened to his press secretary just earlier today before I went shopping. And she's, oh, eggs are down to this. When I went to the store, eggs were still $4.50 a dozen. Now, that is down from $7.99, but still it's $4.50 a dozen. And she's saying, oh, and gas is down. This is the lowest gas has been. I have a deal with this gas stations I go to that I signed up for their club card and I get 10 cents automatically. And now they're running another thing that gets me another 10 cents off. So I automatically, right off the bat, get 20 cents off. And in the city, in Kankakee and in Bradley, I tried to get gas there today. And with my 20 cents off, because gas is down, according to our press secretary, I was still going to pay $3.37 a gallon. It was $3.50 a gallon without the discounts. So when I went to my daughter's house, I said, you know what? There's a couple gas stations out in them two little towns out there. In the town that she teaches in and then the town that she lives in. There's a Casey's and then there's one where I get the discount. So I went by the Casey's and it was only $3.03 a gallon. Only. Can you imagine the audacity that I just had to say gas is only $3.03 a gallon? It's almost ridiculous. But then I went because I wanted to get Ron and me something to drink tonight. So as we're sitting around talking about things, watching TV, and just enjoying the night because we finally got a little cutback on the heat. We're not roasting like chickens in an oven. But Rocky must know something, huh? Oh, okay. But anyway, you know, I was able to go to the station in my daughter's town, and I ended up with my discounts. I ended up for $2.97. And I'm talking to the gentleman working there. And you know, me and him was talking like $2.97 is great. And right now it is. Now, I want to take it a little further to take a little bit off of the hat's plate. This is not all his fault in this case. Because, see, our idiotic stupidity, as the hat likes to call him, the worst governor ever in the history of governors in the state of Illinois, not just in the state of Illinois, the worst one ever. And he is, guys. He's the kind of person that if you put his rear end up and you put a hole in the ground up, he wouldn't know the difference. All he knows is how to take money and screw Illinois people. And a lot of people think that makes Illinois a bad state. It doesn't. When the hat was running just recently, he lost Illinois. He lost it because he lost Chicago, which our governor owns, plus the mayor there. Oh, my God. He makes our governor look like he's a good guy. Illinois right now is in Chicago. Is not in good hands. I used to hate it when people said, oh, New York, greatest city in the world. No. As I was growing up, the only city that was great city to me was Chicago. When I got old enough to drive up there and I learned the city a little bit. I used to love going up there, going on Michigan Avenue and just getting out and walking and looking at the people. Now you're scared. I remember the last mayor we had before the one we got now in Chicago. We had a holiday weekend, and she comes out in a press conference on, the fake news. She comes out in a press conference, and she's elated. She is smiling as she's announcing at the end of the weekend, the 3-day weekend, she's announcing, we had a great weekend in Chicago. We only had 27 people murdered. What? That is stupidity in a handbag. Hi, Ann. Happy birthday, Bill, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Bill. Happy birthday to you. And there's Ann, who I heard was sick. I don't know if it's the same Ann, but Monday night when we got the show interrupted. And I owe you guys an explanation on Monday night. I seen some people in chat, and even Ron was here telling me we were buffering. And I said, well, let's see if we get through it. And we're buffering and we're buffering. And I was just getting ready to close it down. And you're welcome, Bill. I was just getting ready to close it down and restart it. And I looked down and my little dog was having a seizure. And I jumped down to her. I had to close it real quick, cut the show real quick. And I caught her early enough into the seizure that it only lasted about a minute to a minute and a half, 2 minutes. But then after she has them, she's out of it. So I have to be really close with her. And I finally got her calmed down, and she's doing very well now. She's laying right down here on the floor next to me. But I had a lot of people that found out that's what happened, and they give me their prayers and that, and I appreciated it. This little dog means the world to me, and I pray every day. I pray for her to make the beds. Yes, Beth, that's what I was talking about. I'm 71, and you're saying you're 72, and our childhood growing up was so much fun. It's not now. I mean, now with kids, I'm over at my daughter's house today, and she looks at me and she says, Liam, my grandson, Patriot5, she says, he has football practice today. And I said, okay. I said, when I leave, I'll take him. That way you don't have to leave, because she's getting set up for a big garage sale. And she said, oh, that would be. Yes, and that's what Myrna was telling me, that you was in the hospital for 2 months or 3 months. So you are getting better, though? I wish we'd have known earlier. I would have definitely had everyone here praying for you every day. But anyway, I'll go back to my story about Liam. And after he gets done with football practice, at the swimming pool, the all-star team is having a big party. Pizza and all this and that. And I looked at him, I says, wow, I was going to take you fishing today. Well, really, let's go. And I'm thinking, do you ever listen to yourself? It's got to be, let's go. It's never, hey, let's just hang out. Let's just talk. Let's go for a walk. I remember I used to go to my daughter's. This is when they lived in the old house, the small house. And we would walk 5 or 6 blocks to get to the sidewalk that the town put in from one end of the town to the other end of the town, that people could just go and walk. And we would go and do that, and we would laugh, and we would joke, and we would have fun. But now they live just a little over a block away from that same sidewalk, and we never go, because the kids nowadays, they've either got to have their computers, their TVs, their phones, to look at the kids and say, hey, let's just go for a walk and talk. Forget it. Today I've got so far 16.40 kilometers or whatever it is. A total of 22,179 steps. I walk at least 20,000 steps a day. And my grandson Liam was telling me, Dad, Grandpa, Papa, I'd love to do that. Then do it. What's stopping you? You got that sidewalk that you can walk a block down. Man, if I had that in Buckingham, I'd probably walk 40,000 steps a day. But when you're in a small town that I live in, and you get run over by a car one night, you have a tendency not to want to walk there. So I go down to the old Sportsman's Club. and walk around the old swimming pool. But let's see what we got tonight, guys. I've been talking about what's going on, what's happening, and my disappointment in what's going on, because I don't think things are getting done the way they should be. But that's my opinion. I was listening to someone talk the other day, and she's someone that you guys know, and she's talking about the beds, the special beds. And that's good. I always love to hear about the beds. I got some information about them tonight. But as I'm listening to this girl, someone said something about, you are a Christian. And she says, no, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in Jesus Christ. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, why am I wasting my time? But this is a person that when she talks, she tells everybody that if you're not right, if your vibrations isn't right, it's in God's hands. And if you're not right, you're not gonna get the magic carpet ride. Well, how does someone that doesn't believe in him and his son get that ride? How do they do that? So I will continue to watch any videos that you guys send me with her. But my expectations of her is about like that. And that's stretching it. That's a shame, David. That's a shame. And see, why is that? We were promised all of this stuff, David. Why is it that we're not getting this? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm sick and tired of seeing a certain person smiling all the time, doing the dance, sitting down to a meal that the money that he pays for this meal could feed everybody in this group. I'm tired of him taking care of the elite. Now, yes, for certain people, he did get them no taxes on something. But I want to talk about Bruce, because Bruce is talking last night and he's saying people on Social Security, if you're up to 65, you should get about 80% more. And it should come this month. He don't know for sure. Well, I got mine today and I did not get any. I was in the second Wednesday. I did not get any Wednesday extra. That does not mean we're not going to get it. And I say that as I'm fighting back laughing, because I'm tired. The money is there. They're finding trillions and hundreds and trillions of dollars. They're saying how rich our country is. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. But every month it's the same. What happened to the Doge money? Well, Bruce says the Doge money could come this month. Everything could come this month. I would rather them say we don't know. Try to build spirits up, vibrations up with your groups. Keep them happy and say when it happens, instead of, oh my goodness gracious, this one guy, he keeps coming on and the opera's going to play and he's going to sing and we're going to party. And then he'll come on the next night and he goes, I just can't believe that you guys said this about me. This has been the hardest 5 years of my life. What has been hard for you? You got a full-time job. You got a roof over your head. You got enough money to pay your bills. You put food on the table for your family. No, hardness is the people who don't have their home. Hardness is the people who don't have money. Hardness is the people who don't have food. So I'm sick and tired of listening to people who have it cry that it's too hard for them. Grow a pair and grow up, please. Because, see, I'm here for you. I'm here for you to support you. And I could care less about the rich people who think that they've had it hard, that they're going to cry because someone said something bad about them. That's just not fair. Well, you know, sometimes things aren't fair. But promises was made, and not one promise that he made to senior citizens, to the military veterans, to the people who's on the streets who need this. He has not completed one thing. But boy, he'll stand up there and he'll do. Yup, I'm sick of his dance. But I love him because he's the one man that can turn all of this around. But I think he's went through so much strife, so much grief, that they've wore him down to where he wants them to feel it too. But what he's forgetting, he is making them feel it. But he's still not doing what he's supposed to for the people that he's supposed to love and take care of. Someone asked me one day, when you talk like this, aren't you afraid that he's going to watch your video? I don't care. Because I'm telling you right now, I would stand up in front of him and I would tell him the exact same thing. Until you can actually go out and do what you say. Don't act like you're the king of the dance floor. But anyway, let's see what we have. Sorry, I got on that rampage. So here's Bruce's intel only, where we are now. Bruce first talking about the special beds. They're all in position in every part of the world, but the U.S. has 7,500 special bed centers in the U.S., and Bruce is also saying that they have mobile units. So Bruce saying special beds would be available before the 15th of this month. And of course, we need to do our exchanges first. And the first priority is Zim holders, and then dire need. The Zim holders really want to see their projects coming into manifestation. Some of us have priority, and some are already in the system. So special beds are ready, and then an announcement might be made to the world. But we should be good to go shortly after the exchange. Bruce has just said his handler has seen these beds. He said that his handler has actually seen these beds, seen how they work, and is totally amazed at these special beds. About Canada, Alberta, will it descend from Canada? There is talk about there are those that would love to join the U.S. So about Canada has a number of RC redemption centers, but the concentration of population is on the border with the U.S., and HSBC is the main bank, but the number, the 800 number, is what you need. Bruce also talked about, if you're in Canada, do not cross the border and try to exchange your currency in the United States. They will send you back. They will take your currency. If you try to come from Mexico and do the same thing, they will arrest you and take your currency. And this is just common sense, everyone. When we go to the big N and the big G, for the people who don't have currency, for the people that's going to get their money, like everyone's going to get their money, everyone in the world, everywhere in the world, when we go to the big G, you have to get it from your country. You can't come to the USA. Now, a question that I asked some people and I got different answers. I said, okay, you take someone who comes over from Mexico, or someone that comes into the country from Japan or China, and they've been living here for 15 or 20 years. They came over legally, and they've been living here for 15 or 20 years. When that happens, they are legal USA citizens. I said, will they have to go back to their country since they're a citizen in the United States? I've heard the answer was given to me by one person that made the statement, no, they will just they will be given information to contact someone in their country. They will give them their information and the money will be sent to them here. I've heard, yes, they have to if you're going to get it from a country. Now they can get their money, they can get everything settled, then they can come right back over here, is what I'm understanding. I don't know for sure. I'm just the messenger. Yes, all illegal immigrants have to go back to get their money. Yes, that's true, Janet. Thank you. Yeah, David, I seen that about we're making him out to be a god. But, you know, I want to ask everybody to make sure you keep the people in Texas in your prayers. What's going on there? And see, when I heard what happened, okay, we're living in a world that things happen. That we have very, very bad people, that things happen. But see, we're also being run by a man that, how many times have you heard that he's smarter than so many people, everybody else, and if he was playing chess with 10 people, he'd be 10 moves ahead. But see, these special papers from this very, 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 very terrible man, they was hidden, and that's one of the reasons that these floods happened. This was not an act of God that made this happen. This was an act of the terrible, terrible people. But if our leader is so much smarter than them, how does he allow that to happen? Now, I had a good chat with Cindy the other night. Cindy lives in California, and I told her, lucky you, Bonnie. Bonnie got gas last night for $2.69. But see, Bonnie, I'm still going to go to that. You feel good that you got gas for $2.69. The leaders of our country feel good that someone got gas for $2.69. But oil prices are way down. We should be charging enough tariff for that oil to come into our country. That we need to go back to gas. I mean, I don't think we'll ever see it under $1 again. But it's 71 years old. The first time I ever put gas in a car, I paid 16.9 cents a gallon. 16.9 cents a gallon. We have all of these smart people in this world. Why can't we change things the right way? Why can't we get them the right way? But I thought Bruce was very good last night. And will any of this stuff happen? Well, one of the things I questioned is he said that the beds will be ready by the 15th. They're going to be announced on the 15th. But then he also says, it makes you feel good, don't it, Bill Woods, that you actually got it under your birthday present. You got gas under $3 a gallon. Oh. But Circle K is what I was talking about, Bobo. That's the one that in Kankakee and Bradley today with the discounts, 20-cent discounts, it was still $3.39. Yes, we did. We had a major gas war in the 70s. You got it for 15. 16.9 is the lowest I ever remember it. Oh, God. Yes. Once you see it like that, I don't care if you're at 3/4 of a tank. You stop and fill up. Because like you said, Bill, 2-3 days later, it's going to be way back up again. Bruce talked a lot last night about Canada, and I didn't understand why. Because what disappointed me about Bruce's call last night, he never said anything. He never said anything about what's going on. You know, the earthquakes, the floods, and to lose the children that we lost in these floods. Somebody needs to pay and pay big time. Now, there is good news. There is a lady that once thought she was going to be president. I mean, I look at it this way. She couldn't control and manage her marriage. How was she going to control and manage the United States of America? But the good news about it is I've heard reports that Thursday, late afternoon, early evening is going to be a glorious day because they're going to announce that this particular lady is going to go on a trip, a one-way paid ticket to GITMO. I'm going to make sure I got a couple cold beers, though. If she does, me and Ron can have us a cold beer. Because, see, I think that would probably be considered the first arrest. And if that's considered a first arrest, then we can really move forward. But going back to Bruce just a little bit, because I want to get into Restored Republic and see what they got to say. I might not even. What's that? Oh, never mind. I don't have the reading of Restored Republic. But I do have this thing I was telling you about. This is what I was talking about, and we're going to finish on this. And then I was a little bit late getting done, and I'm already at 58 minutes. So, special report, Tesla special beds deployed globally. Healing frequency tech is real, and it's spreading fast. As of July 2025, Tesla's special beds are active across the United States and in key locations worldwide. This is not experimental. It is a quiet revolution of quantum healing based on Nikola Tesla's forbidden tech. Here's what they don't want you to know. Tesla's special beds are all powered, frequency-based, military-grade, diagnostic, and healing systems. They scan, diagnose, and repair cells using quantum resonance and bioelectric fields. The results: cancer reversed, DNA restored, aging halted, limbs regenerated. This is not a theory, it's happening now in Los Angeles, New York, Miami, Dallas, Chicago, Phoenix, Orlando, San Diego, Houston, Atlanta, Washington, D.C., and dozens more outside of the U.S. Tesla special beds are operational in London, Berlin, Tokyo, Sydney, Dubai, Toronto, and Sao Paulo. How it works: full body scan using Tesla's waveform and quartz resonance, a diagnosis from 10,000 pattern disease database, frequency based treatments targeting damaged cells, bioenergy raised from critical levels like 15 capital V in cancer patients to 70 capital B, enough to obliterate tumors and regenerate tissues. Three primary special bed models are regeneration beds for trauma, organ repair, and limb regrowth, holographic beds for memory regression and emotional rewiring, rejuvenation beds for DNA repair, aging reversal, and immune restoration. This is military intelligence tech. This is military intelligence tech leaked into civilian use, and it is a ticking bomb for big pharma, hospitals, and panicking insurance cartels and preparing collapse strategies. The FDA, under silent directives, has classified it as safe under Class 2, but without mass disclosure. Reported results: chronic pain eliminated in days, PTSD and anxiety resolved within drugs, sleep disorders reversed through biofield recalibration, Alzheimer's systems halted in early stages, DNA and RNA distortions corrected, heavy metals and toxins purged naturally. Veterans, whistleblowers, and cancer patients are all walking out of these pods fully healed. Elderly users report mental clarity, restored strength, and a sense of peace they haven't felt in decades. This is not sci fi, this is post disclosure medicine, and it's available now. Every session lasts just 30 to 60 minutes, full restoration in 5 sessions or less. No needles, no knives, no side effects. The cabal's grip on healthcare is crumbling. The era of disease for profit is ending. Tesla mess beds are freeing humanity one frequency at a time. You are not supposed to know this, but now you would spread before you do spread it before they silence it. They ended my life, but they couldn't stop the mission. The fight continues. Join me now. And this comes from JFK underscore Q17. So, to me, the money is going to be great. The revaluation and everything that's going to happen is going to be amazing. But it doesn't matter. The beds is what's going to happen. The eating food that won't make you sick, the not having to take shots. You know, the kids who have ADHD or they, other sicknesses. There's other places in the world. Oh, the group of people that have the beards and talk funny and all this and that. I can't think of their names. What are they? Huh? The Amish. There was a survey done with them, and they don't let their kids get these injections. But you know what? None of these kids have the stuff that our kids do. It's growing at an alarming rate. The allergies that our kids have. Why are we giving them shots? Why are we making them do this? Why are we making them do that? And then they get the stuff worse. Why? Because they got to get you at a young age. So they have you under, Big Pharma has you under their spell for your whole life. It stinks. It's terrible. And we're about ready to see an end of it. I was just looking at some of the comments, guys. I don't have any more for tonight, and we're already at an hour and 5 minutes, which is long for our show. I will be back on Friday unless something happens. Bruce did say on his show last night that he's hoping tomorrow night is a celebration call. And if we're gonna release these beds and make them to the public, and we have to be in the redemption centers first, we have to do the revaluations first. They're going to have to get going. They're not going to be able to keep doing this stuff. And who knows, maybe, just maybe tomorrow that arrest will be made and that lady will get her one-way ticket to the Mo place. We can only hope and pray. But with that, once again, happy birthday, David. And I'm glad you're doing better. And if anybody else had any repair or any request, please get on our messenger, or if you know someone that's on it. If you need a prayer, if you need something, let me know, and I will gladly, spread it and talk about it and wish you a happy birthday. And even with my tremendous voice, I will sing you happy birthday. With that, good night, God bless, and we love you all.